What's up, DIY Nation? Welcome back to YouFloor, the channel bringing you tips and tricks to help you with your next flooring project. Now today we are going to be taking a look at some baseboard. I just finished the floor and I'm going to be installing some baseboard. I figured now would be a good time to show you some of the fancy cuts that you guys be seeing on Instagram and Facebook. That's right, sometimes I see so much stuff on the job site that I am like,
I cannot believe that the customer let them get away with that.
And let me tell you, you know how the saying goes, good work ain't cheap and cheap work ain't good. So when you're doing trim work, the ultimate goal is to make something look finished. You don't ever want a raw edge or anything rough on the outside. It all needs to return back into itself and somehow have a finished look when it's done. I've switched from 3-inch base to 6-inch base, so therefore this is going to require a little bit of a notch and not going to do it the old-fashioned I'm going to show you guys how to get a really professional look. So let's jump inside, take some measurements, and get this stuff installed. Let's go. Okay, so the first cut we got is this one right here. And the baseboard that we're going to be using is this right here. This is 5 1/4, but anyway, that's pretty much standard. We call it 6-inch base. We used to have 3-inch base and you could see the line where it used to be. So what I'm gonna have to do is try to make this where it goes over and goes down and then notches underneath there and turns back into 3-inch base. But anyway, let me show you how we'll do that. The first number I wanna get is the overall length of the baseboard. Now tight, it is super tight on that 6 inches. So we'll call it 5 15/16. So this is 5 15/16. And next I want to find out how tall it is from here to here. It looks like tight 3 3/4, so I will do 3 11/16. 3 11/16. All right, and I believe we need one more number, and that's this number right here. The tight is 2 3/4, so I'll put 2 3/4 and say take line. 2 3/4. Now I believe that's all the numbers we need. Now over here we have a different situation going on, so I'm going to get the overall length of this whole piece of baseboard on what it would be once it's all glued together. And I have 51.5. And then of course the second measurement I want to get is how far it is from the floor to the bottom of the ring. And here I have 4 inches, so I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch gap and call it 3 3/4 from the floor up to where I want the trim to stop, just underneath that right there, that little skosh. Okay, and now lastly, I want to see about how wide I want to make this little piece here. I'm going to go with, looks like 4 inches to the short point of that, and we'll see how that goes. My 4 inches is going to be from short to short, so there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces here. Let's go figure this thing out. All right guys, we got our measurements inside. Now it's time to start cutting and gluing these things together. Now the first one I'm gonna wanna do is the one in the dead center, because what I'm going to do is work from that middle out. And that way I'll be able to get the rest of my measurements and glue this whole thing together. So let me just go ahead and start doing some cutting here. I'm gonna start off at 22.5, okay? Inside, we decided that we wanted this to be about 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that there at 4 inches. All right. Now I'm going to cut this back on this side because it needs to be at 22.5 degrees. Okay, and so now this will go this way, like that. I'm just going to cut this wild. And then I'm going to cut one for the other side as well. All right, so now we have these 3 pieces. We're going to want to glue these together. Just like that. Now how we are going to find out where this gets cut at, remember, we want this to be at 3 3/4 inches. 3 3/4. right there. And from the bottom, that's the 1 5/8. So we're just going to do 1 5/8 here, and 1 5/8 here. And then I'm just going to spread the love across right there. All right, and then that's going to be a 22.5 degrees as well. All right, so now this gets glued to this, and this gets glued to that. Does that make sense? We have to cut those off. So I'm going to go ahead and find where that's going to get chopped off at, which is right there. And then this one right here gets chopped off right here. All right. Again, we're still on 22.5, so we just got to line it up with our mark. And that'll go just like that, guys. Of course, this one goes across here. Beautiful. I like it. All right, so I'm just going to glue this together now and run inside and get my marks for the 2 side pieces. Looks a little wicked, doesn't it? Alright, now right here I'm trying to find out where I need to cut this off at. Because we want it to be the height of actual baseboard, you know what I'm saying? So we're flush on the bottom there, and then I'm marking it over here on the top. This we'll want to join back in. Just like that right there. Feel me? We'll cut where it needs to be. So I'm lining up with that right there. Alright guys, that's what we're left with. That's our piece. So we'll want to cut another 22.5 and it'll fit in just like that right there, and we'll be able to get the rest of it. Now I'm going to take this inside and put this up underneath my toilet supply line and center it, and then I'll be able to pull from here over to the square to get the rest of my measurements. Alright, let's go. Alright guys, so this is going to go just like that. And I mean, we're going to try to center it the best we can. Now we're going to measure from the tub to the long point, and that's going to give us 16 and 11/16. And then on the other side, 27 3/4. Tell you what guys, that's looking good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and CA glue this up right here. Man, we are getting low on the CA glue. May have to get some more before it's all said and done. course our accelerator here. I haven't figured out whether the aerosol or the spritz is better, but I think the spritz lets it get a little bit more wet as opposed to soaking in like the now this I'm just pushing it together tight, and you can see that I try to move it around a little bit on the floor here so it doesn't stick to my paper. But there we go. We got about 10 seconds and then that's pretty stuck. Just like that. We try not to stick it to the paper anyway. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this glued together. And then Kelly wanted to spray it with the paint sprayer again before I put it in here. So I think I'm going to let her do that and make sure that this thing is going to fit. Oh, I love it. Look at that. All one piece. Alright, and so this is over here. Once I butt it up against there, that's looking good. And of course this is our other piece. I may have to nibble a little bit off of it. I feel like it's a little bit tight there. Yeah, we'll come back and nibble some off of that and we should be good to go. Alright, so it looks like we got it glued together. It's looking pretty good. It feels flush. I like it. Alright, so we can show that against the wall now. Beautiful. I like that. Alright, now we're going to have to find our studs. Alright guys, so I wasn't able to film because I was using the Wallabot and I had to have it plugged into the phone. But anyway, I found a stud here. There's one over here, but it's just a little too close to this pipe for my comfort. So I did a scissor stitch there, checked the wall, there was nothing there. And then I found a stud over on the other side, over here. So I was able to get in there and do that. And then of course there's a bottom plate, so I'm able to nail it to the bottom plate. Still got that to do over there at the door, and I'm fixing to install that now. Alright, for the second one, this one should be pretty easy. A square on this side. And now our numbers. It was 2 3/4. 2 3/4, it's right there. Like that. Now we want to bring it back 45 because this is going to be a miter. See what I'm saying? This is going to go just like that right there. So we'll have to cut that and then cut that over. It was 3 11/16 is the number we work with here. 3 11/16. So there's that. I need to go get what this number is from the toe kick all the way out to the edge. That way I'll know where to cut right here. So it was 3 3/16. So I want to make sure that I come out here, butting the toe kick, 3 3/16. And that will give me my miter cut. So there's that. Now we have to turn it up. So it's going to be like that, right? Basically like that. All right, this needs to be straight across, so I'm going to mark it right here. All right, just like that. And of course, we need to mark where this is going to be up at the top. I'm just using this scrap here. So that shows us how tall it's going to be. And remember, our piece was this. So I know it's a little weird, but most of that is going to be gone. It's going just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this, then I'm gonna glue it up, and then we're gonna cut it again. So that'll go like that, and that goes like that, right there. And then we'll just chop this right here, and that'll do it. All right, CA glue. All right, guys, so here we go. We're going to glue this together first. If you guys are not familiar with CA glue, I'm telling you, it saved me more times than you can even imagine. It's perfect for trying to get pieces glued together really quick, especially around cabinet trim. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link for the kind that I use in the description. That way you can just go there and get it immediately. Also, it helps support the channel, and I appreciate that. Every little bit helps. All right, guys, we're going to glue this together, and we are going to do our count to 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And it is stuck. Now we just got to put this piece on right here, and we'll be able to slice and dice it. All right, here we go. I'm going to put it right here on the top. And then spray here. And then I use this board right here to lay on top of, because we don't need it. Anyway, that's what it looks like together. I'm going to hit that with a little bit of sandpaper. We'll go ahead and chop this thing off right here where we need to. And guys, that's our piece right there. Looking beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and sand this down just a little bit. Kelly will hit it with the spray paint, and we'll go install it. Right, guys. A little bit of darkness over here, so we use the headlamp like this thing is called. That's going to be nice. I like it. I like it. That's what we got, guys. Now we just need to putty it. I got some that pink stuff that turns white. It's in a tube. You can almost pretty much use that and then come back and wipe it wet, and it looks good. I'll still paint daub over it, but that's it. Let me just show you what I got now here. This is the bathroom we've been working on, and we got a new paint job in here. We got a brand new floor. We just finished up all the trim right there, and now I am going to put a caulk line on that tub right there, and this thing will be ready to rock and roll. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until next time, take care, stay safe. Peace.